Angelina Robles and Patience Williams, pair of 20-point performers tonight. We'll take it away with some questions.
Patience, when you scored the first 14 points of the game, did you kind of feel that to yourself before the game started? Did you just hit your first shot and then it just continued on from that?
Yeah, I think the energy from the speech that Coach gave us, I think that's just really fueled me because our fans come out every day, and she always, every time before we get out there, she always says, if it's our last game, if it's our last time seeing the fans, what impression do you want to give them? So I said, ooh, I almost cussed. I want to say, I just lost my train of thinking. I just went out there and said, I'm just going to give it my all. If this is the last time the fans are going to see me play, I want to leave a great impression. So I gave them what I had. I need to do that more.
And Joanne, how did you feel like you and your teammates fed off of her start of scoring the first 14 points?
Yeah, Patience is a prime energy source for our team. So whenever she's feeling herself and she gets going, that helps us get going as well. So we knew that she was hot. We knew to give her the ball, and it was going to be a good game.
For both of you, this is the second win in the WNT, so this starts a winning streak, and now you're playing again at home. What does it feel to you to have a winning streak and to be able to play another home game?
It feels great. It's a different feeling that we had from what we had in the postseason, the conference season. I mean, bringing our fans into it, bringing everybody into it, it's a different type of love, and we just want to continue to give that out.
It's definitely a blessing being able to play at home and not having to travel. So we don't know when our last home game is going to be, so we want to make the most of it and keep showing up for our fans because they keep showing out for us.
Patience, you made 8 threes all season before today, and you knocked down 4 in a row. Was there a point where you couldn't believe that they were still leaving you open on the pick and pop there?
Yeah, after I think my second one, I was like, yo, no way they doing this. This is disrespectful. I'm just going to keep giving them. If they're going to keep stepping back on me, I'm going to keep giving them.
And Angie, as the point guard of this team, what do you do when you see somebody that's kind of got it rolling like that, especially as Pepperdine keeps missing and you keep getting essentially the same opportunity over and over and over again?
I think it's simple. Give her the ball. Give Patience the ball. She was hot. She was getting us going. She was our spark today, for sure.
On a senior-led team, you guys get a bit of a non-traditional postseason experience here, getting to play some games at home, like you said, getting the energy from the crowd. Just how have you kind of embraced this? Not necessarily playing for a national championship, but getting to play for a championship here as the season winds down.
I feel like we all wanted to play for something. I know we all came together, decided, like we know we got 1 year left, so whatever chance, when we heard we got the WNIT, we said this is a great chance for us to leave our mark and leave our legacy. That's been our big thing these last couple of days, is leave our legacy, and I think that's what we're trying to do.
And we love hanging out and spending time with each other. So the more that we get to do it on the court, off the court, the better. And we keep talking about it. We're going to leave Vermilion with something. Yeah. So.
Angie, in the WNIT, home games are kind of up for grabs, and you don't even know who you're going to play yet. So what would you say about, sort of the administration and the university stepping up to make sure you guys are home again on Sunday?
I mean, ever since the start of the season, they've been super upfront about their support for our team and how much women's basketball means to our school and Vermilion in general. So we want to, we know the history and the legacy of 10 years ago when the Yotes won the WNIT, and we just, that legacy is set in stone, so we just want to follow it and, make our own.
Patience was the 3-point thing. I mean, maybe Pepperdine just read the scouting report and said we're going to leave you open, but did you anticipate that was going to be open? Was there any dialogue before the game of like, hey, this might be there?
I anticipated last time because last time we played them, they sagged off of me a little bit too. But my teammates trusted in me in practice to shoot. They know I can shoot. Sometimes I just be overthinking it. But once I see one go in, I think that's good. And I think they probably read the scout wrong. I don't know what they read, but I'm a 3-level scorer, so they better step up.
And what can you say about the difference between that game in December and this time around? Because just looking at the stat sheet, it wasn't your best game, not you, but the whole team in December. What can you say about getting another crack at them and playing so well this time?
Yeah, we definitely reflected on that. That was our first thing that we talked about when we heard about them again. We knew that we didn't play our best basketball. We knew that was like a part of our losing streak that we had. We knew we wasn't really connected. We knew we wasn't doing it. So this time we wanted to punch them in the face first and show them what we could do because I know they doubted us, especially in warm-up. So we came out and we showed them what we could do.
It covered everything that I needed.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, we have head coach Carrie Amy after tonight's 73-57 win over Pepperdine. Coach, we'll start with a quick opening statement and then hit the questions.
Okay, well, first, congratulations to Pepperdine on a great season. We obviously played them earlier in the year, and they beat us in Malibu. And even then, when we played them, we knew they're just really talented. They got really good size, can really score the basketball. So, congratulations to them on a great season. For us, it was all about today. We talked a lot with our team the last couple of days about not letting Pepperdine get off to a fast start. I didn't envision our start necessarily happening the way that it did, but we got off to a really fast start. And really, offensively, Patience was on a heater to start the game and really got us going. But also our defense. Our defense was really, really good in that first quarter, limiting them to 9 points. And we wanted to make sure that we didn't give up a lot in transition. They're really, really dynamic when they can get going early in possession. So great start by our team. And then I thought, even through the first half, we shot the ball extremely well. Cooled off a little bit in the second half, but definitely did enough defensively, I felt like, to keep the lead comfortable enough to where, offensively we could be patient. I knew we probably wouldn't shoot it as well as we did for the whole game, as we did to start. So really good overall effort, I felt like, from our team on both ends of the floor.
When you're sitting there watching a player like Patience go like that right out of the gate, what do you even say at that point? Just give her the
Nothing.
ball? Is that literally is that the whole message?
Yeah, I think you don't say anything, and you wonder as a coach if you should have taken her out because she was just unconscious. But we also know that if she gets fatigued, there's a chance she gets in foul trouble, and we didn't want that, So I don't know that I've ever had a player start out on their own personal 14-0 run. That was incredible. And we knew our forwards were going to get those kind of shots just because of the drop coverage that they play and their ball screen coverage. And we got some of those looks in the first game. But, I think Patience hit her first one, and then it got her confident. And, she was just locked in and just playing. And, I thought the guards coming off those screens did a great job of finding her and putting her in situations where she was in rhythm, could just catch and shoot, and when players have that ability, when they're fresh like that, to get open looks where they're in rhythm, they make one, they make two, it just kind of starts flowing, and you just stay out of their way.
Yeah, were you surprised at all that once you did hit a couple that they kept letting her have them? Because, she was mostly uncontested for those shots.
Yeah, that's kind of just their ball screen coverage. They really use drop coverage, and they rely on it. And, I think with some, I've seen on film a little bit with some players, they'll work out a little bit quicker. I just don't think they were expecting her to shoot from the perimeter as much as she did, as early as she did, and then they did adjust a little bit, but it was after she had that nice little stretch.
So you get this, obviously, another win tonight and an opportunity to keep playing. And we talked earlier this week, and you said you're just kind of relishing this every extra opportunity at this point with this group, and you definitely got a sense of that from Angelina and Patience when they were in here tonight. Just talking about how if it's our last game, how do you want to leave it with these fans? And did you feel that from them tonight, just with the kind of energy and effort they brought? Absolutely.
I talked about this a little bit after the last game as well, but this is a group that has really embraced our fan base, and our fan base has embraced them. They give our players a lot of energy, and they show up, and they don't just come to the game and show up and watch the game. They know them, and they see them in Walmart and care about who they are as people, and it's just been really neat to see how quickly that relationship has developed, and we did talk about that. The WNIT is unique. You don't know, even if you win the game, you don't know if you're going to get to host until halftime or the end of the game that you're playing, and so that's just something we talked about. Is just this is a group that left a phenomenal first impression. when they first stepped onto the court together, and we just want to make sure that whatever their last game is here, that they leave a great last impression on this fan base and just really leave their legacy.
Just lastly for me, the administration has to commit to these opportunities for you to be able to play in these games to start, but then also to continue and to be at home. And again, you're going to be at home, whether it's Montana State or Portland at this point, we don't know, but what's that mean to you in this group to continue to have these opportunities in front of that fan base that you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, our administration is unbelievably supportive. First of all, to like you said, let you play in a tournament like this. It takes resources, it takes effort, energy, work on the part of our staff, and so just really, really appreciative of our administration all the way from President Gestring down to our facilities people. Everybody is really committed, to providing our student athletes with the best experience possible. Giving them the opportunity to play in the SESC in front of our fans is such a huge advantage. And our team and our staff super grateful for the opportunity.
You mentioned how Patience's confidence grew as she hit those shots, but when she came in here, she basically said, I'm a 3-level scorer, and if they didn't know that, now they know. What is it like to have a player who feels that strongly, even though she didn't have a ton of threes to her name coming into tonight?
Yeah, you got to love her confidence, don't you? That's the thing about Patience is I think a lot of people don't realize that before she came to South Dakota, she played on the perimeter primarily. She's never really been a center anywhere she's been in college. And so credit to her for a couple of things. One, being willing to kind of take on a new and different role here and embrace that we're asking her to bang around in the paint, and she's grown a ton in her ability to score at that level. But yeah, for her whole career before now, she was playing on the perimeter, shooting threes in the corner, and she's shown obviously that she's able to hit the mid range as well. So she hasn't probably taken quite as many, just because, in a lot of games, it's not usually quite that open. We joke with her sometimes. We're like, you can take one and then we'll see how that goes, But she kind of just looked over the bench and smirked at us after about the third one she hit.
You mentioned the game in December that you lost. Statistically, was not a strong game for you guys. How satisfying is it to get another crack at them and play much better?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're very, very talented. They can really score the basketball. They hunt matchups. They do a good job of using their size and their athleticism to get around the rim, but they also can hit threes. I think for our team, it's pretty satisfying to see the growth from kind of where we were at and how we played the first time, which was right before Christmas, still kind of trying to get used to the team that we had, to now feeling like we're much more battle tested. We know ourselves a lot better. We competed a lot better, and I think our kids were excited to play this game and just kind of see where do we stack up now compared to where we were at then.
Any more questions for Coach? Yeah, I have.
Just year one at a school, obviously when you come in can always kind of be hit or miss, but that you brought this group in intentionally for this year, and now here you are winning a bunch of postseason games. Just how do you feel like this group kind of exemplifies the program that you want to build here? Obviously, like you said, they've taken this community in stride.
For sure. Yeah, I love this team. I love their passion for the game. That's one thing that we talked a lot about in recruiting and just even to the fan base here is we want to recruit players who love basketball, who love to play. And that's one of the things I love about this team is when you see them play out there, you can sense it, you can feel it that they love to play. But also how they play. Yes, they have embraced what we want it to look like. They've set a really, really good foundation for us moving forward. Defending and rebounding is something that this team hangs their hat on. They're willing to give the energy and effort that it requires. It's not the most celebrated stuff, but we really believe that it really impacts winning. And so, yeah, I mean, there's just so many things about, and the way that they engage the fans and the community, you know, it's exactly what you want of a team in a community like this that really, really cares about women's basketball.
When you got as big of a lead as 41-14 in the second quarter, and eventually there in the second half, Pepperdine shortened the lead. They got it to like 16 at one point in the fourth quarter. Did you think that the foot was taken off the gas to an extent, or did you figure that Pepperdine was going to shorten the lead to an extent just because of them being a good team?
Yeah, not really. I felt like in that stretch, they hit a lot of shots, and I felt like we got some good shots that we just didn't hit. You know, and that's kind of how the game flows. I mean, there are times where, I mean, early in the first half, obviously we made everything, and you know, when you get up 41 to whatever it was, you feel like you need to have that lead the whole time. But they're a team, they're better than 9 points a quarter. I mean, obviously we impacted that a little bit, but you know, in the second, you know, third, fourth, they scored more than 9. You know, they got into double digits, and you know, I wouldn't necessarily say it felt like we were losing control of the game or anything like that. I just felt like they had a couple of runs where, you know, they made some shots, and you know, we didn't, and it's shrunk the lead a little bit.
And last one, when Patience made her fourth 4 threes to her first 14 points, and then Pepperdine called timeout, what was kind of your reaction to see like the heat check of the 4-4 go in, and then to see them call timeout like that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, we knew we were in a good spot. Anytime you get a team to call a timeout, because you're just, you know, this going on a whatever, I don't even know what that run was, but you know, it you know, our team, what we were able to talk about in that timeout was just that, you know, we did exactly to them what we wanted to make sure they didn't do to us. So we felt like we were in control of the game at that point.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.